Ayo, what is going on, you guys? Alejandro here, and welcome back to the episode of Magayon. In this episode, we're going to be overhauling the entire road system of Magayon. We're going to be making it more friendly to pedestrians, cyclists, and public transportation, comparable to those in Amsterdam, especially with the bike infrastructure we're going to be having here at the old part of the city, which we've already started in the previous episode, which is the part 1 of this one, in the Chinatown, a fully pedestrianized main street which used to be for cars but is now for pedestrians, and everybody likes that. So if you guys want to check that episode out, the link is down below. And if you guys want to check out more of updating the city's road systems and other builds in this series, consider leaving a like, commenting down below, subscribe, and click that bell notification to be notified whenever I upload a brand new episode. Updating the cycling infrastructure. I'm starting off by reworking this bridge right here. Now this bridge takes inspiration from Jones Bridge in Manila, which connects Binondo to Intramuros. It used to have a tram going through it, which I have here right now, because if you haven't been following this series, this is a series inspired by a fictional Philippines that was never colonized, and we're taking various inspiration from various different cities in the world and whatever ideas I have in mind. And recently I've been watching a lot of Not Just Bikes videos. If you guys want to check out better explanations on biking infrastructure, check them out. And also this channel right here, check it out for amazing bike content from the Netherlands. And we're updating the road system of Magayon, making it more bike friendly and transit oriented. That's the word that I was looking for. And here we have this 3-lane. This is actually a 6-lane road. Imagine that this used to be a 6-lane road, and 1 lane has been dedicated to tram, 1 lane reserved back for cars, and the outside lane is reserved for cycling. And since the roads are quite wide, I decided to put a barrier, a medium between them, this grass right here, so that the cyclists feel safer, because you wouldn't want to bike beside a car which is traveling so fast. So that also allows for the safety of cyclists, that also allows for the cars to slow down. And traffic here is very slow. Like historically, this entire space in the lore of the series, this is one of the oldest streets in the city. It goes straight through across the various foreign settlements, and they decided to bring it back because why not? We're taking inspiration from Dutch history right here. As you can see, the 6-lane road is now only a 1 lane with a tram and a bike on the sides. It's super nice. I mean, it's 2, but you know what I mean. Anyways, getting back on what's happening on the screen, I'm using these bike roads, bike networks, and they work perfectly because in a typical intersection like this, the bikes would do a similar left turn with the cars, and they would intersect with oncoming traffic, which is super duper not safe. Now the cars traveling here are not that fast, but it's still quite fast. So the way the Dutch have designed to make the bike intersection safer is to make it kind of like a roundabout. If you guys want a better explanation of this, I'll have the link down below. But basically, to make a left turn, you have to cross the street first, right here on the side, and then cross the street on this side, which I'm building here, to go to the left. That allows the cyclists to be much safer. They're closer to the roads. They're not in the center of the road. It's so much safer. You'd actually see it in action right here. As you can see, he made a U-turn. That's nice. But some still prefer going straight through because I haven't simulation is still updating. And here we have on the side, another safety feature is this curb right here. So it protects cyclists who are on the side from cars turning to the right and stuff. And those curbs at the center, they will be removed later on. They necessarily don't work, and they were just an eyesore, so I just removed them, and nobody's actually benefiting from it. But this is now the bike intersection right there, and I'm doing a similar intersection right here at Kayapu, and we are making it better. As you can see, it's quite a huge intersection, so I was thinking on cyclists wouldn't really prefer biking here. I mean, if it's this wide with the weird angle and all kind of stuff, I decided to shrink down the intersection and make it a little bit smaller so that there would be less fiddling around from everywhere, which allows for a much safer experience. Now, the simulation doesn't really take into consideration these paths that I have placed, these bike lanes. So traffic lights don't really work in this way, and the simulation really isn't that good at handling this type of complexity. And I actually don't want to go through the hassle of timing the traffic light and connecting it properly. Aesthetically, it works, and the cyclists are following the similar route. So that's that. And here I am adding in these curbs, which are a prop turned into a procedural object so that we can shrink it so that they'd fit in more with the custom things we have in the city. And here we have another intersection. Now, this intersection connects a bike road, a shared street, with the intersection. Even though the road actually supports a bike road, placing a dedicated bike road like a bike network is much faster, and the cyclists much prefer that over a dedicated bike lane on the road, which is nice. And here we have an intersection of the boulevard with a shared street. A shared street means that cars, cyclists, and pedestrians all share the same street, but cars often have the least priority over these streets, and they have a slower speed limit. The cars are still allowed to use them, especially those who have no choice but to go through this intersection to get to where they are. But yeah, they are the least prioritized of them in this part of the city, because I want the city to be, this part of the city to be completely walkable, and I'm going to be updating a lot more of the old parts of the city to be more accessible to pedestrians and cyclists. And yeah, that is that. I think I should have made it into this type of intersection right here. As you can see, it's much more safer for cyclists and pedestrians and for everybody in general. But I guess with the limited space that we have, I think this is the best that I can do. And yeah, it has the same function, but I think it's fine. Traffic here is super slow, that it doesn't really matter that much. And of course, this is just a game. But yeah, once again, I am dragging over the networks over the bike lanes that we already have in the side of the road so that everything would connect properly, because the simulation really didn't like how it was connected. It much preferred if everything had been connected with a bike road network instead of the bike lane paired with the road already. So I'm also copying that same system, a shared street intersection with a avenue. So that's that. This is the northern gate of the Chinatown. So if you guys haven't watched the Chinatown episode, the links are down below. And here is the intersection of the pedestrian main street with the avenue. So as you can see, I'm using intersection marking tool to color this road into an orange or kind of red asphalt. So that would, just imagine that that's brick, but I don't want to do the hassle of decaling the entire space. So a little nice trick to save you some time and save you more FPS, even though the FPS is quite low, so as you can see in the live play. But here I'm placing down the trees. As you can see, they are just these normal hazel street trees, and since it's in an urban area, I think these fit in quite well. And these actually fit quite well in the sense that we live in a tropical country. I mean, the city is based off of the Philippines, of course. Growing trees here is not that much of an issue. It rains often, and we have to plant trees here because in the lore and in real life, it's super hot. So in the future, we have to be more mindful of how we deal with the climate issue. And we want to make this place walkable. Remember, we want it to be accessible to pedestrians and cyclists, so we have to make it shaded so that people would actually be willing to walk through these streets. Because yes, currently if you're in Manila, you wouldn't really walk at noon or during the day because it's just scorchingly hot. That's why people love BGC, love walking. And here we are detailing the road, adding in these props on the sides, these hedges, but I'm just going to be changing them over to networks later on so that they'd fit better. And the networks are a little bit slimmer, and you can resize them to a larger size. You can make them wider, which fits perfectly there at the central island. As you can see, I'm still detailing it with a curb and then overlaying it with a network, a grass network, which is fine because I want to add like leafy things, especially when driving through here. And I think that just adds a lot more depth into the space. And here, to add a bit more depth into the space, or actually detail, I'm using this TRAMS station. This is actually a bus rapid transit station by Fayid, and I just use procedural object to resize it to fit in the central island. It's kind of like a BRT, but it's not because it's a tram. But yeah, I'm gonna be changing that to a much smaller one because in the live play, I will be updating the trams to be smaller to fit in with the scale of the city. As you can see, driving through here, the hedges seem to be a little bit too close to the cars. So I decided to, put it down, shrink it down a little lower so that they still have a view of what's around them. They be able to see the cyclists that are going to make a left turn. It's much more safer. But yeah, I didn't want to go through the hassle of having a lot of these props everywhere because I want to limit the prop count on my city, and the network is just a little bit easier to work with, and you can literally change the size of it. You can make it wider by using node controller, which fits perfectly with the central median that we have here. I decided to add that here to give another hedge so that they'd be divided from the people left and right, and also the trams, and it just makes it feel a little bit more greener, a lot more present, a more pleasant experience. And yeah, that is the detailing of the road done. I will be copying this process with the other roads with the bike lanes here at the old district, and yeah, it's much more safer and all that kind of stuff. And here we have this cute little plaza right here. It's in front of this old art deco building, as you can see right there in the middle, and it has al fresco dining, so you can eat outside because there's a Wendy's out there at the left. And then we have this fountain at the center, and we have that canal right there. Later on you'll see a lot more of that. We're going to be placing down some chairs, placing down some trees because we love the shade. And I'm going to be placing these same ones because this is a little bit newer, but I also want to give it a little bit of history, so I'm going to be placing down some older trees that I think were there before they planted the newer trees. And to add more trees and to make it more tropical, I guess, we're adding in these palm trees on the sides of this canal. We also have lilies on the sides of the canal because here in the Philippines, especially in Manila, in Pasig River, we have these floating around everywhere. So I think that fits in quite well with this area. And once again, to make it a little bit more tropical, I decided to change the median trees to these date palm trees. These palm trees that have a white branch or trunk, they're just a lot more higher level. I don't know, it's like in higher valued areas in the city they have that. So yeah, I'm also copying that process here of using the network as a hedge and as a curb, dividing it. The amazing thing about Move It now is that they save the data of your changes with the networks and with the colors of your surfaces and a lot of those, and the mod compatibility has never been better. I will be updating the mods list and the asset list because I've downloaded a lot and I've removed some and I've updated a lot after the airports DLC, so that needs a lot more refreshing. But yeah, I guess I'll be hopping over into the live play to show you guys this in more detail and to show you what it looks like from the ground. And welcome to the live play. This is now the Dutchification of the entire eastern city, Silangan, all done. As you can see, we have biking everywhere. We have a dedicated bike lanes here on the side and a dedicated bike intersection in the center. So this intersection right here connects Magdala Boulevard, which is this road that goes along the entire stretch of the eastern settlement. The frame rate. Yeah, the frame rate is quite bad, but we'll manage. Let's get a little bit closer. So yeah, as you can see, we have completely given it dedicated bike lanes along the entire stretch. We have one-way bike lanes on each side, and this entire space is completely accessible by bikes and by cycling. As you can see, these roads have been converted into pedestrian only. This is a shared street that goes along this entire area. This is a pedestrian only main street, Chinatown, as I've said. That's the previous episode before this one. This one is a dedicated bike street. We have a dedicated bike intersection right here. And this bike path, it's a bike only path. It will continue on along the entire river and it will connect to the waterfront. And yeah, that is the gist. And we also have this intersection right here, right there. And we have 2 tram lines actually. Let me just hop on over to the public transport settings system or whatever. So we have one line that is running through the entire Eastern Settlement. We have a stop in Chinatown. We have a stop here in Kayapu, and we have a stop at the Japanese settlement. And yeah, I'm planning on expanding it further, but the road system of the city still needs to be updated, especially here on this side. I'm not quite happy with this one, and with the scale it's a bit of a challenge, but we'll get through that. And the next line is this one. This one follows, this is from the central station. It has a station here in Magdala. It has a station here at the capital near the palace. It has a station here in the future, another train station, and near Makati. So yeah, it's a bit messy right now, but it works. The people who need to go here or want to go to Makati are able to do so without driving, which is what the priority of this place is. You have to reduce driving in the city, and traffic is quite well. It's very nice, the traffic of the city. Yes, it's very it's all green. 76% traffic flow. I think most of the traffic is clogging up. Yeah, there's probably an event happening at the sports hub. Let's see, do we have a match? Oh yeah, people are going here because we have a match. And yeah, you guys want to see the stadium? Some people are trying to go to the... Okay, that's broken, but yeah, we have a lot of people. We have some going into the stadium. We have people cycling over here around this swirly bike path. We have a rotating globe at the rotating roundabout with a rotating bike path. So yeah, a lot of swirly, movable curviness here. We love that. So I think the cyclists are using this cycle path here and connecting to that area, going directly into the Salinsalan Estates. But yeah, this is the Olympic Stadium of Magayon. A lot of people are going to the stadium for the event, and I just love it here, you know. Also because of the frame rate, it's quite a lot. The frame rate here is high, and in the last episode I told you guys that I've been here many times and I just been chilling because it's just so serene and beautiful. We have the London Aquatic Center right here on the left, and here we have the Tokyo Olympic Stadium. This is all that I've built for the Olympics. We still have to place more facilities on the sides, and this is supposed to be like an expo center. But yeah, what I finished actually alongside the Olympic Stadium is the Olympic Village, the Athletes Village right here on the side. It's very cozy, very nice. I named this Hinabi. It has green roofs because of the way these roads are designed. These roads are also shared streets. So Hinabi has a population of 2,000. That's nice. Hinabi actually had 10,000, the population, but I edited the buildings, turned them into Rico, and only allowed 1 household per building. So now we only have like 100 households, which is nice. So yeah, that is the stadium. I just a little bit of a like recap or going back to it, travel back in time. But yeah, I still have to fix a lot more. We still have to bikeify some places. Yeah, not that. I think I'm gonna keep that. Still not quite sure. Still to plan properly the future of Magayon. But yeah, let's get back into Tawiran. Let's get back into Silangan. Tawiran is a different place. And let's get closer so that the frame rate would be a lot better. Okay, let's try, or let's fly above the entire boulevard. So here we have, I updated the buildings of Magdala actually. So it's a lot more uniform and a lot more larger, and it's a bit more on the upper end. There you go. It's a much better view right here. It's giving London mixed with New York, mixed with Amsterdam, mixed with Japan. It's Magayon. It's like a mix of everything. This is like a newer building. But yeah, we have palm trees for shade, trees on the side for shade as well. And yeah, these trams that I'm using right here, they're a bit of a smaller one. I changed them into the Melbourne tram system from the workshop. And yeah, look at the people cycling. I mean, I can just sit here all day and just watch people cycling and even follow their routes. We also have a sign here. I still need to learn how to make road signs because I don't go outside. I'm not familiar with how they look like. So I literally have no idea what the outside world looks like. And yeah, the trams, look at that. The game, the City Skylines simulation really doesn't take into account how this intersection should properly work. But basically, if this was a real intersection, the trams would have priority, then the cyclists and pedestrians, and lastly, the cars. So trams would just go straight through without any problems. Smart traffic lights would handle the complexities. And yeah, I'm very, very much jealous with the Dutch and their public transport and of course cycling infrastructure. It's so nice. So yeah, a lot of people would just choose to cycle in the city over everything because the city is quite small. So I think that's the benefit of having quite a smaller city, because a lot more people would prefer to be biking and be cycling if you have enough of that infrastructure in place. So we have that park right there in the middle. Yes, just a small one, very dense buildings, narrow streets. And we have this building right here in front of the creek of Magdala, Sabang, Magdala. So yeah, I think this is a foreign embassy. I'm still not quite sure on what country or European country would be choosing that as their embassy. Maybe the Dutch embassy, because we have a lot of like biking infrastructure inspired by Amsterdam. We have a canal literally in front of it because Amsterdam is filled with canals, and the architecture kind of feels like it. This is like a vanilla asset, as I've said, from the workshop. Still not quite sure on the name of that. But yeah, we have also a plaza in front of it, and directly in front of that is a Art Deco building. I think it's a theater. It's very nice. So we have two intersections right here. This is connecting the bike path that connects directly to the central train station. So instead of using that road right there, they use this one, cyclist. So that's a bike only road, and it connects directly into the entire bike only system of the city. So this one here is a shared street, so cars would still be able to access here, but it's very rare because there are really not many people driving here, and the speed limit here is quite slow. So let's move along into the next slide. So there are a lot of people cycling, so that's very nice. So here, this is the intersection between the Chinatown. This is a pedestrian main street which intersects with the boulevard. So if you guys want to get like a quick lunch or a snack, you can eat here, or you can visit other local restaurants owned by the Chinese. So let's move along. Here on this side, we have another shared street. This one is the one that the residents use to access their homes. But most of these areas still need to be built, still need to be, developed, but that's going to be mostly residential areas. Public housing inspired by the Singapore, but I'm thinking of giving it a little bit of a history, since this used to be the shore before the land reclamation, because I want to give it a little bit of history. I'm thinking this is what the fishing village used to be, but when they developed, they were displaced. So yeah, that's kind of sad. But I think they've been relocated to public housing, which is nice. But yeah, let's now go down into first person and let's see what this entire place looks like from the ground. Because the best way to experience a smaller builds like this is to go down. So yeah, that's the Japanese settlement right there. That is a highway. You need to fix this. Like a lot of things in the city I still need to fix. So yeah, excuse the frame rate once we look at this side. So that's just bad. But yeah, let's do a quick little bike through or drive through or whatever. Yeah, this is what it looks like from this side. Probably should, yeah, It's a bit narrower, which is nicer. So we have shade here from the building, but we also have additional shade from the trees if the sun is on the other side, like here. It's very shaded, very nice. It's a walk along. It's in a very nice place to be in. So as I've said, I changed the hedges to these ones on the side so that it would be a visual barrier for the cyclists and the cars and the pedestrians, so that it would feel safe, because that's how you get an enjoyable walk. You feel safe, you don't feel that stress, and it feels beautiful. Oop, there's a tram, there's another car, and there's a cyclist just walking about. So I don't have that much they call this traffic lights. People always just yield to one another, and which is why I also made the hedges a little lower so that the cars driving would see if there was anyone trying to make a left turn. So probably their hand would show. They would probably slow down either way. But yeah, this is the Chinatown, but we have Japanese signs like there. But yeah, Starbucks, perfect. That's nice. Here we have the station. I have shrank down the station, made it a little smaller because the trams that I have, I've changed them into the Melbourne one, which is a bit shorter because we don't really have that many people driving here. So let's see if a tram would be going through here. But yeah, while we're waiting for the tram to come, this is Chinatown. Yes, this looks amazing from the ground. Like, I'm very satisfied with how it looks like from the ground, but more above, not that much. But yeah, it's very green, it's very nice. I love the aesthetic. This is the lanterns in front of the temple. Okay, here is the tram. Let's see the tram go into the station right here. So yeah, the simulation really doesn't take into consideration the pedestrians like crashing with the trams, but yeah, it works. So as you can see, it perfectly fits the station. It's snug and tidy. So the cars are everybody is able to enter and exit. It's very nice. Ooh, she's stuck. Help me, I'm stuck. Step brother, I'm stuck. Yes, she's stuck. Somebody come help her. Somebody come get her. She's dancing like a stripper. So yeah, once again, this is Chinatown. We have food. But if you guys want to get some street food, you go here near the food by the street. So here we have burger. Yes, Angel's Burger. Yes, buy one take one. Unang kagat, tinapay lahat. Yes. So yeah, we have a shopping center here. So this is the Eastern Gate, and here, what do we have here? We have fishbowl, I think, something, quack, I'm not sure, but yeah, we have seating here on the side, which is like so social. You have seating for street food, huh? Wow, this is like Divisoria, pero like leveled up. This is DV. Yeah, welcome to DV. I get so distracted. It kind of feels like Japan though. I don't know, but it's gorgeous. I love walking around the city, and I hope you do enjoy as well me walking around the city. And if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, comment down below what you want to see next, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. If you guys want to show your support to the channel, consider becoming a patron. On patreon.com/Calejandro, get exclusive content, early access, and so much more. The save game of Magayon will be available to the top tier patrons, and the highest tier would have the latest save game for each episode. And if you guys can't, that's okay. You can still click like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification to be notified whenever I upload a brand new episode. This is Calejandro, signing off. Bye!